warfare that's being undertaken there, initiated by George Bush, followed along by Paul Martin and the Liberals who got us into it without any vote in the House of Commons. Then an extension to 2009 with a vote advanced by Mr. Harper and 24 Liberals voting for it just to squeak through by a 4-vote margin. Mr. Martin didn't even bother to show up for that vote, which I thought was quite shameful. I'm not sure I'll ever forgive him for that one. But we're now locked in this battle. Canadians want out of this kind of foreign policy. They don't see it as leading towards a positive conclusion. And they're right when you look at the objective evidence. The civilian deaths are up. The production of poppies way up, which provides an enormous cash flow for those who want to destabilize and cause great difficulties. At the same time, of course, we're losing our brave young men and women who are going to serve their country and will do whatever we ask them to do. They'll do whatever we ask them to do. That's why we support them. But our job is to make sure that we've thought through what we ask them to do. And we're the only party that is calling for a withdrawal now of our troops and for Canada to play a completely different role in Afghanistan with the 2 or 3 other dozen countries that have a different foreign policy than the White House. So folks, this is where we're headed. We're a party that is a party of principle. We've been around a long time. For some of you who are just learning about the Canadian political system, you can thank the NDP for Medicare. You can thank us for a lot of... Just to close off with a story, I never thought I'd be doing this, but I was canvassing for the NDP in Westmount. Because I was told it was a fruitful area to go for votes, and I thought, wow, you know, the Layton family, I was born here, grew up here, our family music store is still on St. Catherine, Layton Audio, if you're looking for any really good little stereo items. It's no longer owned in the family, it was sold to a different family just a few years ago, but it was started by my great-grandfather, who was a blind man, and sold pianos, and started the Montreal Association for the Blind. And so my comment to the folks when they sent me up to Westmount to canvass for Tom was, you know, the Laytons never quite made it up to Westmount. We were down on the lower part of the hill there. So it was going to be interesting. On the top floor of this building, was a beautiful view around. I met an elderly Jewish gentleman who said to me, at first he was kind of gruff, he was about 80, and he was kind of had a gruff attitude about him. And he said, oh well, I voted for your predecessor of Tommy Douglas in the CCF back in the 1940s. Caldwell was his name. And the greatest thing Canadians ever did was to pick Tommy Douglas as the greatest Canadian. You can count on my support. So I thought, something's going on in Outremont, something's going on in Westmount. We're going to see if we can make some things happen. We are going to ask you at the end of this, and after we've heard Tom speak a little bit, we are going to ask you if you'd like to get involved. It's a lot of fun. You can come over this last weekend and put a few hours in knocking on doors. Believe me, you'll enjoy it. You get to talk to real citizens at the grassroots about the issues, and we're hoping we can sign some of you up to help us put this over the top. It'll be you'll be making some history here in Quebec and in Canadian politics. Thank you all very much.